More balloons in the sky than inflated on the field. Don't think we're done. We're only like halfway. What a great morning.
They're just circling around.
Yeah.
Just having a time.
So of course I keep looking out to the south because I'm looking kind of here at the field, watching what's going on in the field. Then all of a sudden I turn around and there's just as many balloons in the sky behind me. So just a very nice box pattern for us this morning. The idea that when you're low, you're going more to the south, and you go up high and you go back to the north. You come back low and you go to the south, and you just kind of make this box pattern. If you've ever been to Albuquerque, you hear us refer to it as the Albuquerque box. It's a basically this weather pattern that you're seeing right here in front of you, or I should say above you, where we have the winds low going one direction and up high going basically 180 degrees the other direction. Happens in Albuquerque quite often. Happens in lots of other places, as it's happening today right here in Colorado Springs. Hey, this is Labor Day Liftoff number 48. We are really glad that we have so many of you out here today. You have a question for me? I have an answer for you, so ask your question. Me personally? Yes. No, I do fly these balloons. Yeah, I have some friends that have a balloon that they actually made, and they let me fly it on a very regular basis. In fact, this gentleman here crews with us as well. So, yep. Is that one here today? Yes, but it's not flying. The one I'm looking at. The question was, what's my favorite balloon? It's the one I'm looking at the moment. What's your favorite balloon? Meow Wolf and Pepsi? All right. Did you guys get one of my cards? There you go. Thanks, Ken. You looking for a card? Mr. Ken will help you with it. Thank you. All right, the blue-green one with the Zia made out of wrenches and the skull in the center. That's Sean Spiker, and that balloon is called Gut Wrenching. Ha 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 ha. Gut Wrenching sponsored by iHeartRadio.
Art, what's the largest balloon festival in the world?
Largest balloon festival in the world is the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
It's larger than Turkey?
Yeah, they do rides over there. They do big balloon rides. They don't do a big balloon festival.
In Turkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's my favorite song? Up, Up and Away, of course.
Great question.
Yeah. Why doesn't Uncle Sam fly anymore? That's a really good question. That's a great question. So here's the deal. Let me tell you that's Marauder's Mark, the yellow and orange one going off, carrying the banner for Diversus Health, flown by Dave Eichorn. Dave actually runs a balloon repair station in Albuquerque. Because you see, these are aircraft and that's fabric, and when you keep putting heat and other things and it gets drug across the grass at inflation and deflation, the fabric tends to wear out. And so it's only good for so many hours of flight. And at that point, you have to do something else. You stop flying it, or you retire it, or you start replacing fabric. Well, Uncle Sam was built way back in the 1980s. And so its fabric is wearing out. And so it's not safe to fly Uncle Sam anymore. So we can stand it up, but we can't really fly it anymore because the fabric, it's getting what we call too porous, which means the air, the heat goes right through it. Now, Chicky Boom, the balloon that's inflating over there now, the one with the fruit on the top and the face, that's the face of Carmen Miranda. That balloon was actually built right before Uncle Sam. But Chicky Boom wore out as well, so they rebuilt Chicky Boom. That's the second version of Chicky Boom. Okay? Great question.
That's an excellent question.
I see Chris. Yeah, Chris Jones has got his balloon skyward. That's the multicolor spikes going up into the purple top. The balloon is called Serenity. Sponsored by Chamonix, the only Colorado casino with roots in Las Vegas.
Pilot on the top of G is just going to static. The rainbow one? He's laid out still on G. He hasn't even started inflating, but just to let you know, he's now left. He's just going to static. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I believe they are. Just G. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hearing that a couple of our balloon pilots will be making the decision to do a static display for you. Rather than fly away, they'll stand their balloon up and let you get close and personal. Wow, that hasn't been around for a long time. I don't even know what happened to Pink Panther. It probably wore out, just like everything else. We get about, actually in the 80s and 90s, you were lucky to get 400 hours of flight time out of a balloon. Nowadays, the fabric has been improved and coatings and things like that. It's pretty easy to get 700 to 800 hours of flight time out of a balloon. But if you only fly it like an hour every weekend, that's a long time. But if you fly it an hour every single day, now it's only a few years. So, you bet. So Chicky Boom, I was talking about it, answering that question earlier, is now standing up, and Uncle Sam is cold inflating. A little more to that story. Chicky Boom was built by some guys who thought balloonists took themselves too seriously, and so they decided to make a fun balloon. So the balloon is Chicky Boom, and then she needed a boyfriend. That's why they built Uncle Sam. Kind of expanding there. And there goes Crispy Bacon. Jordan Cox flying Crispy Bacon for us. Sponsored by Perkins Motors. So we're kind of continuing to keep an eye on the box here. It's still up there, but it's changing a little bit. But folks that took off from this field went off to the south, went up high, now are north of the field. Neil Smith has his balloon off the lake side. Yellow at the top with the maroon and orange spikes coming up from the bottom. That balloon is called Indecisive. That's because when he got that balloon, it took him like months for the crew to decide what to call it. So they finally settled on, since we can't decide, let's call it Indecisive. Neil's balloon sponsored by Xfinity. So in addition to having a day here and their own special shaped balloon, they also sponsored Neil. Thanks, Xfinity. And there goes Chicky Boom. Sponsored by Pepsi and piloted by Shane Shipman. I had the opportunity to help inflate that balloon. Oh gosh, it was a year ago almost now. Every one of those pieces of fruit has its own deflation port. So like most of these balloons just have one big opening at the top to let the hot air out. Chicky has one of those as well, but then the banana has one or two, each grape, each apple, every one of those has its own. So there's a lot more work to inflating and deflating a special shaped balloon. Off the other end of the field, the yellow one with the compass rose on it, that's Jerry Graff, no T. His balloon is called Lofty, and he's sponsored by Republic Services. And the orange one, orange and yellow, kind of stair step, that's the Pals balloon. Sean Aiken grew up in Albuquerque, now lives in Wisconsin. Sponsored by AMR, Colorado Springs, Emergency Response. Just off to the side of that, the balloon with the big yellow wide band around the middle, that's anew. That's Jeff Duff. Right here at the stage, Keith to catch. Jeff on that yellow one, sponsored by Al Pomar. Keith is flying to catch a breeze. He is sponsored by Odyssey Systems Consulting Group.
AB copy. CD copy.
The balloon standing up with the very intricate pattern of the black and the blues and the golds and the whites, all that geometric design stuff. That's Holocron. Luke Van Camp flies that balloon, sponsored by Peak Vista Community Health Centers. You may have noticed that the wind on the ground here has slowed down tremendously. So while our balloons were taking off a little faster, Keith going off now much, much slower. There's with Odin's breath, the purple one way over the lake. Remember he took off from here a while ago? Yep, thanks. He has managed to box back around, and he's making a dive down into the lake. Hopefully he stops it before he dunks the basket. It's called a splash and dash, not a dunk and dash. In fact, actually, I hate to call him out, but you know what? I think he overburned, because I don't think he got low enough to get to the water, and he's popping back up. That's the problem when you make a steep descent like that. It's very easy to overburn, which means putting too much heat in the balloon. So not only does it stop it, but it reverses it. Because when you fire off the burner, there's probably a 6 to 8 second delay before the balloon actually responds. It's got to heat the air, and then it's got to kind of like almost realize that, oh, I'm lighter than the rest of you, I can go up now. But to be able to reverse that momentum, there's about an 6 to 8 second delay from the time you do something, pull the top or hit that burner before it actually responds. So you're coming down fast, I gotta stop it, I gotta stop it, I gotta get some heat in there, and so you burn one too many times, put a little too much heat in, and then drop back down in. Alan Hahn and his Heaven Bound balloon is coming back around on our other side as well. They're not going to allow the balloons to land on the field here this morning. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second and I'll get it for you. So that's the 5280 flyer, or the 5280 flyer.
You want a card?
John Schmitz
No.
from Littleton, Colorado, and flying for Colorado Springs, the city of Colorado. Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
I can't hear you when you talk that way.
That one right there?
Yeah. I don't remember, but you know what? They've got programs at that little tent right there. You can go get pictures of all of them. On the other end of the field here, on the east side, I see the Navy Federal Credit Union balloon. It was Navy Federal Credit Union Day yesterday. And he was the hare. Steve Mitchell was the hare balloon for their competition. He's off. He's right on the edge. Evo might be coming in. And the other balloon on the far east side is Toucan Pilot. That's Kent Woolcott. He's sponsored by Laborjack. That's the one that starts with the yellow and orange at the bottom, kind of goes into the red and purple and blues at the top. And Evo's coming right back towards where he took off. No, he's going to be on the edge of the lake. Good morning.
I still loaded Debbie Santee on the floor of mine. My wife for 34 years. Say what I was doing for me. Debbie Santee right there.
No, I can't do that. Sorry.
Thank you. No problem. I was going to blow it.
And there goes the Navy Federal Credit Union balloon. Another one of those solid color balloons where you just hang the nice looking banner on it. And that banner for the credit union looks great. Again, that's Steve Mitchell. Here comes Evo. Evo decided he was missing you, so he decided to come back, say hi, get more pictures taken. just kind of finishing up here. A few more balloons. We'll see what's going on. Uncle Sam, again, we said will not fly. He was going to stand up for a while. And you can see how much heat he has to put in there to keep Uncle Sam's face from getting very wrinkly.
I would probably try that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holocron is in the air. We mentioned Holocron before. That's the intricate design with the black and white and blue and gold. Luke Van Camp flying. Holocron sponsored by Peak Vista Community Health Centers. And we have another special shape inflating over on the east side of the field. That is Peanut. Peanut flown by William Eaton and sponsored by Raising Cane's. Over there on the lakeside, the bands of rainbow colors accented by the vertical blacks. That's Don Doherty and his dark sunrise balloon. Sponsored by the Navy Federal Credit Union. We just saw their bannered balloon go off. In addition to being a big sponsor here.
Right there.
Oh, and there goes Toucan Pilot. Kent Woolcock. Kent's from here. Here in town, Colorado Springs, sponsored by Laborjack. We are still scheduled today to put up our remote control balloons as well. When we get to that point, they'll be out there on the berm along the lakeside. Kind of standing up in the middle of the field, that's Let It Glow. The light green, the teal, the pink, the purple. Jeremy King has Let It Glow. That's why I can't spot that balloon. He changed his balloon on us. Jeremy. Yeah, I was looking for a red, white, and blue balloon. Yeah. Jeremy has flown a balloon called Cheeky Shenanigans here in the past. Yeah, so he pulled some shenanigans on me and didn't tell me he changed balloons. Makes it hard to talk about you, Jeremy. He obviously told the organizers because they have it in the program. They just didn't get it to me. So I can't blame it all on Jeremy. But now I know why. I couldn't be able to find them. Hey, so this is a perfect opportunity to talk about special shapes. Take a look over there at Peanut. And you see how his legs are kind of just hanging loose? Remember, hot air rises. And our balloons basically are, even the special shapes, are built on the basis of a regular shape. So when William puts heat in the balloon, the heat goes up and it kind of fills out his body. So it's going up. And if you were to look inside that, you'd almost see a regular shape up inside. And you'd see these little openings that would let the hot air go into the appendages. So things like his ears and those front legs. Obviously the hind legs are going up because the hot air is going up. So it looks like one leg isn't quite all the way up yet. And as he puts more heat in, the front legs will fill in as well. So watch on when special shapes first stand up, you'll see how the stuff that's kind of hanging is just a little bit limp until it fills out. In fact, you can see that on Uncle Sam. His goatee is not filled out at all. It's just kind of hanging there. Because all of the back of his hair too. Because all the heat is going up, and we talked about how that balloon is very porous at this point. So the heat is just leaving the top of the balloon quickly and not being allowed to fill up the bottom. That's why Uncle Sam has a little more wrinkles on him. And while the goatee and his hair on his head don't fill out quite as nicely as they used to. Both Chicky Boom and Uncle Sam, now owned by the Albuquerque Anderson Abruzzo International Balloon Museum in Albuquerque, actually owned by the Balloon Museum Foundation, operated for the foundation by the Rainbow Riders guys. Stuart Enlow has got Uncle Sam set up for us today. We appreciate Stuart doing that.
Hi! I was just like...
Also, we got several of the ride balloons landing right back where they started from.
Oh yeah, they sure are. We've been talking about the box and how like Evo had a great shot to land here on the field, but they weren't going to let him land here. But the Rainbow Riders balloons, the ones that took off from the ballpark, or what we call the Rose Garden over there, are managing to get right back to where they took off from. Some good bragging rights behind there. Remax is over there with them as well. So Kurt couldn't come back to the field. He decided to join the other ride balloons. Yeah, look at there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right where they took off from that I can see. Yeah. Troy told me that there would probably be a box today. I talked to Troy before pilot briefing, and I asked him what he saw. He said, you know, I think we're going to see a box set up this morning. Troy has got an insane number of pilot hours. Of course, he's made a flight across from the U.S. over to Africa, across the Atlantic. He flew across the Pacific, leaving from Japan and landing just off the coast of California. 2 Eagles was that flight. Set records for duration and distance. I was pleased to be able to work on his mission control team, handling some of the media information.
3 minutes until that.
Okay.
So Peanut's chilling?
I haven't.
Great question.
I haven't heard for sure, but I'm guessing as late as he's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay, cool.
I'm guessing Jeremy too. I think everybody that's gonna fly is going.
Perfect.
The voice you got right here. Don't worry.
Nice to meet you. Anxious to hear you.
Sorry, you're gonna be like.
Hey, well, it has been a fabulous morning and a fabulous weekend here at Labor Day Liftoff for Flying Balloons. 3 great mornings plus our media day on Friday. We had fabulous glows last night and Saturday night. And best of all, we had lots of you out here as well. So thank you all for coming out all over the weekend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating, all your questions, supporting our balloonists. Thanks to Colorado Sports Corp, Hot Apple Productions, Rainbow Riders, and of course, all of the Colorado Springs folks for putting this on, all of our Pathfinders who are navigators, everyone who's had a hand in putting this in, all of our sponsors, and again, thank you to you. My name's Art Lloyd Jr. It's been my privilege to be your announcer and your information source for Labor Day Liftoff for the 8th year in a row. My next stop is Plano, Texas in 3 weeks, and then I'll be in Albuquerque for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta starting the first Saturday of October. Can't get down to Albuquerque, you can catch it on a live stream on balloonfiesta.com. All 14 events will be there for you. Thanks again. Again, my name's Art Lloyd Jr. It's been my pleasure to be here. I'm going to vacate the stage here and let you be entertained by the Mile High Band.